Welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's up?
Derek, we're at our friend's Addie's. What else is new? But I'm fired up because we have a special guest that has a insane lineup for us. So it's going to be a wild ride for this interview. So we'll start with introductions and go from there. So what's up, man? You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name is Hopper. Just in from Ireland. Just new to the Buffalo market, upstate New York. So thanks very much for having us first. Yeah, we've got a good lineup going on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Drink some whiskey, drink some gin, talk some stories, talk a bit of shit. It's good fun.
Absolutely. So
how long are you here for, first of all?
Yeah, so got here just the start of the month. So probably about another week left, give or take. Then I'm going to head to Syracuse for a while.
Okay.
We've got some interest down there from, obviously, there's a big Irish community in Syracuse, Tipperary Hill. I said how we started, how we came across this was we done a trial run about a month ago just to see was there an interest in our product in upstate New York. You know, because New York City, we know there's going to be a market there for it. And then I came up, I suppose in the middle of March, done 2 nights in Syracuse, 2 nights in Albany, and done 2 nights in Rochester. Lot of fun. It was cold, but it was a lot of fun. We just went around, met some local people at bars, restaurants, just got to know the feel of the area, and then just done some samplings, tastings, and people seem to really enjoy it, seem to enjoy the product. They like the story behind it. They were excited because it was something new to the market that they've never heard of before. And we talked about it with the owners, and yeah, I packed up my life in Virginia and put everything into a storage unit, filled 2 cases of clothes, and ended up in Buffalo.
What are your thoughts so far on Buffalo?
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I've heard so much about it. You know, obviously, I used to live in Virginia, Maryland, DC. Heard so much about it as a town, city, as a group of people, and everybody's just awesome, fantastic. So kind, so friendly, you know, like to talk. Which is a good thing in my business as well. You get a lot of information out of people after a couple of glasses of whiskey. But yeah, just an awesome place, you know.
Yeah.
Snow in the middle of April is not ideal, but
no, it's not.
No, but I said other than that, just great vibe, great town, just atmosphere, you know. Just hard-working people, blue-collar people, which we really enjoy because we're the same ourselves.
Oh yeah. Did you hit up any Irish bars or anything while you were here?
Hit up a few. Obviously, went to Blackthorn. Hit up Doc Sullivan's. Hit up Hoppers. Kind of had enough after the 3&M. Had to kind of rein it back in a small bit. But I've just been checking out a lot of the spots. I suppose, you know, I've been to Tully's. I've been to Brennan's. Been to Duff's, you know, chasing that wing journey, Anchor Bar. When I go away, I try to get off the beaten track as well. I've been to the Irishman too, and Williamsville.
Yep.
Great place. Just that was an awesome. I've been there a good few times for lunch, and that was just a fun vibe there. Just like very, very homely. I said any of the places you've been, whether American owned, Irish owned, whoever owns them, they've just been really, really genuinely good spots to check out.
That's good to hear.
I like that. So I have a lot of questions on how you logistically carry all this all the time, but that's a separate story.
Bag.
Yeah, you got this little bag. But so to start, you guys officially became a business per se in 2018.
Yeah, 2018 we first launched. It was a vision of Michael Scully, who's one of the founders, Padraig Call as well, who's based in Miami. He runs the American side of things. Okay. And the Scullys have a farm, 9 generations old, right on the Atlantic Ocean, in West Cork, in Clonakilty. And he just decided to go for it one day. And the rest is history, what's sitting in front of you really here, I suppose, you know. And there's so much more stuff that they're developing and innovating back at home. It's really exciting company to work for.
So Irish whiskey in general, it has to be made in Ireland for 3 years, right?
Yes.
So is there anything else that you know from a legality standpoint or anything that Irish whiskey has to do differently than like Scotch or regular bourbon?
No, nothing. You just make good product, have your age on it. You know, some of the whiskey is sourced in Ireland. Some distilleries do source it, but just once everything's like legal, above board, you've no problem. A lot of people are taking their age statements off the whiskey now at the moment. Customers aren't really looking for that. They're looking for like more fun, different flavors, different tastes, unique stories.
Sure. Like
people love to buy stories. Like I found that, especially in the American market, you know, Ireland's that whimsical place that every American kind of harps back on and has. You can chase so much heritage between Ireland and America. hundreds and thousands of years of heritage. And people love that. They love to be able to trace their ancestors, and especially talking, I suppose, to me and talking to some of the other Irish guys that are here, it's a lot of fun to sell the whiskey, and sell the story behind it, because it has a great story about how it's made, how it gets here, the whole travel. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing, I suppose, when we all immigrated and all came here, comes by boat. Mm-hmm. So it's fun. It's a fun process.
So talking about your story, let's dive into the story behind the brand.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Just blow it out of the water, man.
So 2018, obviously the guys started. They opened a distillery. 9 generations in the Scully family. They have a fantastic farm right down Gallyhead in Clonakilty. The distillery itself is actually based in the town of Clonakilty. So it's a brand new development. 3-pot still downtown. Right outside the distillery is beautiful, like architecture. You can see literally right into it. Okay. So there's a shop in there for customers. There's actually a restaurant in there as well. I haven't been there myself yet. I need to make a trip back soon and try to sneak some bottles that Paul is our head distiller. I'm sure he's got some special ones tucked away somewhere. But yeah, so the gin, I suppose, is the first one. Like this is a whey based protein gin. Rock Sandfire is the main botanical, but there's a small bit of juniper in it.
What is Rock Sand?
Rock Sandfire is grown on the cliffs right by the ocean. Okay. So would the guys actually go out? I don't do it, but the guys go out, and during the season, when it's in season, they go out and they actually pick it off the cliffs. And that's what gives us the unique flavour on the gin. It's very exciting. The reason it's called minke gin is because the minke whales actually nest right in the harbour, in the bay, right beside our ricken houses. So that's why the whale tail and the minke is on everything.
Okay, sweet. That's really cool. Yeah, I was going to ask where the whale tail and how that kind of gets involved.
It's on all the branding. It's on all the stuff. It's very unique with big conservation people back at home. Mm-hmm. Give a lot back to like the environment. Everything is renewable. Everything's like there's no messing around with it. We've got like the Origin green sticker as well, which we're very proud of. We try to keep as clean a footprint as we can.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Because we're so close to the ocean, as I said, you have to be, and it's a big part of who we are as a company.
Are there other distilleries in Clonakilty? I'm going to butcher this name every time I say it.
No, you actually got it pretty good. No, there's not actually just us. So
is that typical for Ireland and Scotland that they own? There's like one distillery per town.
You try not to flood the market.
Yeah, right. Sure.
So you try to flood the market, and a lot of the distilleries, then some of them do take the names from the towns that they were started in or first founded in. Mm-hmm. Then you try not to crucify names, because there's so many different stories in every town and every village. People like to keep the stories for themselves.
Sure.
Like I said, that's really that's one of the big selling factors of what we do, is having a story to tell. Mm-hmm. It makes it exciting. So we try to keep the names as limited as possible. Like the minke one is just a natural fall name because the whales are right there.
Sure. Were the owners from Clonakilty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Michael is from Clonakilty originally. Obviously, his farm. Porrig, I thought Porrig was from Clonakilty all along, and I was telling people he was, and I kind of fucked up. But before I left Virginia, I set up a meeting with Daniel O'Connell's. So a big shout out to Niamh down below, our general manager. Niamh actually went to boarding school in Clonakilty. So Porrig had come up from Miami. So we're like, oh, super exciting now, 2 people from Clonakilty, and I had him on the phone and all together. And he never said anything. So we got to dinner. It was me, Porrig, Niamh, and Anne Dino, who's the other brand manager in DC, Maryland, Virginia. And of course, Niamh, just being Irish, she just started straight in. Oh, do you know this person from Clonakilty? Do you know that person from Clonakilty? And Porrig was like, I'm not from Clonakilty. I was like, what do you mean you're not from Clonakilty? I was like, oh, she's got so many questions about it, because she went to boarding school there.
Sure.
And then he goes, I'm from Ennis, which is in County Clare, which is another county over.
Oh.
So he didn't know the same people, but Michael and her know similar people. But yeah, so So one is from Clonakilty, Porrig is from Ennis.
Sure. So with them owning a farm, there is, and I don't know if this is the same for Irish whiskey, that's why I'm asking, but we have this thing over here that we call distilleries farm distilleries, and they have a legal requirement of making 75,000 gallons, and that's their limit to be able to call themselves a farm distillery. Is that a thing in Ireland?
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
I could be wrong in that. If I am, I will find out. I don't believe you are, because first and foremost, they're a dairy farm by
Sure.
trade. That was their original farm plan. Was their dairy farmers milk cows. You know, this was a second passion of Michael, and Paul got involved, you know, and Paul as well, the distiller. So this is a real passion project for them. I'm not sure I presume they're still farming like regular every day, but I'm not sure they have to make a quota in Ireland.
Sure.
I think just keep it pumped out.
Yeah, keep the good products pumped out.
Like I think the more you go, the more questions you ask the government, the more
Right.
the more problems you're going to find. So, I think-
So true.
Yeah. Just keep making until they tell you stop.
Right.
Yeah.
So in regards to, you refer to as the juice. The juice is byproduct. Do you guys reuse that on the farm, and then it's basically just a cycle of everything, or?
No, we have it all. We have our own barley fields and all that. So
Okay.
I know there's a video that I showed you guys earlier
Yep.
on. So we have all our barley fields. So they get harvested as whenever they're ready. Like they're walked, I think, most weeks to just make sure. See the grain being by the ocean too, you get a lot of that salt spray coming in on top. Like the soil is so much different than any other place. That's obviously it's not near the ocean, but the soil is so much different. The water then is very, very rich there. It's filtered through all the rock. So we check the barley fields, like then they get harvested whenever they're ready. We get some barley then from the Irish Heritage Board, which has been planted in Ireland in over 100 years. So we've got some of that grown as well. It's actually a lot lower in height than regular barley.
Is it thicker?
No, it's a lot. It's like smaller, like leafier.
Okay.
So we've got some of that grown at the moment as well. I said just trying to develop new methods, new techniques, like trying to really trace stuff back and get it nailed as way. Like Paul is doing a fantastic job. Michael, all the guys in Ireland. Like I was saying to you before we started, there's 15 people in Ireland working in the distillery and around the farm, and then there's 12 of us over here, you know, between Porrig and then all the brand managers, and even Michael's son Sean, he actually runs the state of Oregon for us.
Wow.
So yeah, he's hanging out over there, so I'm sure he's having a good time.
Well, let's try it.
Right, let's go. Yeah, here's the gin started off.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So speaking of where everybody's located,
Yeah.
what states are you guys in here?
So Florida, all Florida, Maryland, DC, and Virginia, and Massachusetts, and now upstate New York and Oregon.
Nice.
So we're getting out there. You know, we're really beginning to expand with everything that we're doing, through a lot of hard work by a lot of people on the ground here, going out just knocking on doors, ringing people, trying to sell. You know, pushing out the product, opening new states. You know, Ann Dino, who I worked with very closely in DC, Maryland, like she's in Virginia Beach at the moment. She just sent me a picture of her selling into an Irish bar down below her. Like, Anne kills it for us. She's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's great. Anne worked with me at a previous distributors, and since she's come on board, she's just been a real good influence. She keeps me in Porrig in line.
So you said that you were in New York City, Albany, Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo. Are you
Yeah.
planning? Do you have product lined up now there?
We're trying to get a new distributor up here.
Okay.
So we're self-distributing at the moment through Park Street Importers, but we are in negotiations with numerous distributors, so I shouldn't be too long. It should be about another month or two. But just being me up my own, I can only get to certain places.
Sure.
You know, and then like finally tastings have started to open up again. So we have done one here at Addie's. Actually, we've done two here at Addie's. So they've been hugely successful. And it's just nice to be able to meet people, you know, and just get chatting to them again.
Yeah.
Get people back out.
Now, was Addie's one of the first to bring you in Western New York?
Addie's was the very first place to take us in New York. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, great. They came in with Luis, met Tyler, met Colin, just got chatting. I think it was a random Tuesday, and the only reason I saw here was because I was at Wegmans buying some groceries for my hotel room because I got a fridge, and I was like, I said, oh, fucking Addies, let me go in and check this place out just to kind of get the market, and walked in. So I said I'd come back the next day because I was in sweatpants and hoodie. I said I'd come back the next day and came in I think 9:30, 10. And I just had all the whiskey with me and just called on Louise at the front. And I said, Joe, can we set up a time for me to come in? And he goes, yeah, now. I was like, oh, okay. He goes, go to your, he goes, you got it? I was like, yeah, it's in my car. He goes, well, go get it. Let's drink it. I was like,
that's so him.
I was
so
like,
cool.
I was like, all right, awesome. So that was a great start for us because he took in all our SKUs and has been a huge supporter of us ever since. You know, and that's just in a small 3-week period of just meeting him. And the customers and the staff that come in here have just been amazing, very receptive, and they like to try new stuff.
And that's how we linked up, because as soon as they brought you on, we basically literally got a phone call that day.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, he's in town, you want to do this? And we're like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure this out.
I got home, I think, at like 9 o'clock, and I think Mike, you text me.
Yeah.
It was just like ping. I was reading out through. I was like, I can't answer this at the moment. I said, let me get my head around it. So I'll figure it out tomorrow. But yeah, no, we're super grateful to have this opportunity. Yeah. Any platform that we can speak about whiskey on and get our brand out there. You know, I know it means a lot to the guys in Ireland, and it means a lot to the guys here in America as well. So we appreciate it.
Well, cheers, man. Let's try this.
Nice one.
That's right. 2 taps for the boys.
Yeah, there you go.
So while we drink this, we're whiskey guys. So do you want to walk us through what you're tasting? Because you prefer gin, right?
I do. I like to drink gin, like gin and tonics, like a martini.
This is very florally. This is fantastic.
Yeah, but this is soft.
Yeah, it is. It's nice and clean. It's small, bit crisp. You get a bit of fennel, bit of pepper on it as well.
Sure.
You get some of that earthy note. You get a small bit of alkaline as well, a small bit of salt. But it's 43%. I find it very easy to drink. It's delicious on a gin and tonic, fantastic on a martini. Blue cheese stuffed olives are my favorite. But yeah, it's great. Like Helen was the real brainwave behind this.
Sure.
I've never met the lady herself, unfortunately, but I hope to. So she's the queen of gin. Back at home, so this is one of her babies, and that there is a lot of gin on the market, but this is so unique.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that's out there is very juniper heavy.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw some gin today that had cinnamon in it. I was like, it's like Fireball.
Yeah. Right. So is there? It still has to be 51% juniper.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't.
This is actually more Roxanne Fire. There is 6 botanicals in it. Roxanne Fire is the main one, and then the juniper is added, obviously.
So is that kind of what we're getting with the fennel flavor? Is that what Roxanne Fire is? Okay, interesting.
You get a slight bit of pepper at the back end of it, I find. But some people like get sweet apple. Some people like on the nose they get like fresh cut grass. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand how there's that many things happening in a clear liquid. Like, it blows my mind.
It gets great feedback up here. You know, it's got great feedback in America in general, not just up here. Because gin is so big in Ireland at the moment. It's blown up. Like, because we actually make another version of this. Just everyone is on it. I don't know what it is. Everybody, there's gin. There's just places, just bars solely that just serve gin cocktails.
Really?
Yeah, and they make them in the big wine glasses. Like they add the pomegranate seeds, like the crushed up fruit and everything. It's huge. Gin is massive in Ireland.
I thought it was just beer and pints and Guinness and then Jameson. Or just whiskey and scotch in general.
Yeah, no. You know, gin is huge. Like we actually make a slow berry version of this in Ireland. So we get the fresh slows, pick them off the ditches, and it actually won the best slow gin in the world 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
3 weeks ago.
Well, congrats.
Yeah, don't thank me, thank the boys at home. I'll take it though. It's probably the first thing I've ever won in my life. If I could ever get a bottle of it, I'm just walking around like this.
We won.
Yeah, we won. I won something, Mom.
So this rocks. I'm really focused on this because it's interesting to me that you're incorporating this. Are other distilleries doing or using the same thing or no?
I don't believe they are. We're very unique. I said the boys are very innovative. Like they innovate. They like to try new stuff. we're not saying everything works, but the rock sandfire gives a real unique flavor to it. And I said it's sustainable. It's right outside, right on the farm. You know, they go and they pick it when it's in season. Don't over harvest it, and that's what gives it that really unique taste. And plus, too, the whey protein that is filtered through,
Right.
it coats your mouth.
Yeah.
It gives that kind of viscosity to it. Where it's, you know, it's a lot. I find it quite viscous.
Yeah, it's an interesting characteristic to have with gin because you don't normally get that lingering effect with it.
No, it really does coat. If you flush it, and what I love about this, there's no harshness to it. You know, we're obviously just drinking it straight here, but like,
Right.
imagine it's chilled over rocks. You know, even on its own, splash of tonic, splash of
Sure.
soda.
It's dangerous, man.
Yeah, you can end up hurting. I love this with some like a fresh grapefruit.
Sure.
Bit of soda and like some muddled grapefruit in it. It's delicious. It's a real good summer drink. Just nice, crisp, clean. A lot of people have started batching, like a lot of Irish bars started like batching cocktails with it. Just adding different flavors in. You know, having just like ready pre-poured, ready to go. But no, this has got a lot of good feedback. I said the minky whale and on the tail on the front of it is just, people like it. They like the story behind it, and I love the packaging. I love it's quite textured.
Yeah.
Just it really pops off the shelf. And then, what I said, the gin market is heavy, but thankfully tastings are back open again. So more people are trying it, and then obviously having platforms like this to talk about it, you know, people are definitely going to reach out and try it.
Sure. Is the minke whale, is that native to that area of Ireland? Or?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
they're down below there. There's not that many of them, but
Sure.
they're normally a good summer attraction. They don't come in that close, but there's so much wildlife down there.
Sure.
It's crazy.
And what is the MSRP on this one? Like, what does it sell for?
This here, Addy's $29.99.
Wow.
So under $30.
What a steal.
750 ml bottle. So
Right.
great price point. And that's I believe most stores that have carried it are carrying it at that price point.
Okay.
$29.99. Obviously the price point is different for on-premise stores, bars and restaurants.
Sure.
And you know, we'll get to them, you know, as time goes by. I'm sure I'll stumble across a few more of them when I'm here. But yeah, but Addy's, I said, has been the first place to carry it. So this has got a great feedback just from gin drinkers in general, and some people that weren't gin drinkers were kind of like, "Oh, this is unusual. This is something
Sure.
different." They weren't getting that bang of juniper straight away.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Has this won any awards? I see some of these bottles do have awards.
Yeah, this is, which one is this gone?
Well, besides the one 2 weeks ago, right?
Oh, just the best judging category one for the gold standard. But the slow one, you can't get it here, unfortunately. It's a limited run. They didn't make that much of it. But yeah, we're very excited about it. And we're toying with the idea at the moment of doing some barrel aged gins.
Oh, nice.
I've seen a few on the shelves when I've been walking around, and we're looking to. I think we're definitely looking to do something like that, just to see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, see are the same flavor notes there.
Yeah, that's a hot thing here in Buffalo, at least, that I know of, is people like putting everything in whiskey barrels.
Yeah.
And just seeing how it turns out.
That's the good thing about the whiskey barrels. You can do that with them. You know what I mean? You like with wine and beer barrels, there's a certain time limit. You have to be very careful. But whiskey barrels in general, like a lot of people like to try that, and we've partnered up with a lot of breweries here in America. So far, I think so far we've done like 9. And I have one of them here today, but we've done like 9, and they've all turned out delicious.
Okay.
You know, so like IPA finishes, stout finishes, like we're trying everything.
Sure.
To see how it goes, and then it said like the people just like to try something new and different. And
Absolutely.
that doesn't break the bank. It's said $20.
That's the biggest thing, especially in the Buffalo market, which I'm sure you're already running into. But if there's something on the label that kind of stands out, like barrel aged,
Yeah.
or aged in this cask for a certain amount of time, and it's not over $50, everybody in Buffalo's like, I'm being fancy, I'm going to buy this
Yeah.
bottle. It's kind of the feel for it.
People are very receptive. You know, people do like change, and I think you were hitting the market at the right time. You know, coming into like the weather, whatever we call summer here, whenever that hits.
Yeah, we basically have winter and summer. Our spring
like,
is kind of quick.
you look at me complaining about the weather. Like I live in the country, the rains 300 days a year,
Right.
And I'm here bitching about the weather in Buffalo. You know, like it was like 52 today. If I was at home, it was 52. I'd be in shorts and a t-shirt. But yeah, no, I said it's different, and I said the label and the packaging really stands out, and said people like to trace the story, and they really like something new and fun.
That was when you first sent that video, and I was going through it, and then at the end they showed the bottles for the first time, because before it was basically just the entire area, the terrain, the farm, and I'm like, this is stunning. I'm just super upset that I'm not physically there, but that's fine. I'll get to that. And then you see the bottles for the first time, and I'm like, it's fitting. Like, it's a refreshing light label.
Yeah.
It's bright, and it's welcoming, and it's foreign. So everybody here just looks at this and they're like, how do you even say that? And then they see Irish and they're like, well, I'll figure out my bills. Like, I'll just buy a bottle and go from there. Like,
the packaging, the guys have done a fantastic job on it.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot take credit for that. Because even the weight of the bottles, they're very, very heavy.
Sure.
There's a heavy glass base to them. There's the labeling, as you said yourself, Mike, it just pops off the shelf.
Yeah.
It doesn't fall into that dark glass category, that brown glass category. It just stands out there, and people seem to enjoy it.
and the color of the spirit itself is lighter.
Yeah, it
which
is.
I think helps.
Well, it's all art. It's all, there's no artificial coloring or flavoring in it. It's all the flavor or color comes from the barrels.
So what's that one?
So this one,
Because you can technically add coloring in Irish whiskey. You can't do that here.
You can, but what's the point?
Right, exactly.
Agreed.
Leave,
Sure.
leave the barrel speak for itself.
In Canada, you can add flavoring. It defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're Canadian.
No wonder. No
Hold
wonder.
on a second. I just want to empty this out.
No wonder the border was closed.
So, also, we do have to give a quick shout out. We are using our friends over at 3 Chord.
Yes,
their
no,
rocks
for sure.
glasses.
Thanks for the setup, because we have glasses in the process of being made and shipped to us.
Sure.
And they do have at the bottom. They're very unique. Unfortunately, I don't have one. They are 2 glasses, but the whale tail is actually the bottom, so you can lie the glass on its side and it won't roll.
That was in the I saw that in the post.
video?
Yeah, and
So
it was in the video. I was blown away.
I will once they arrive. I will get you glasses.
Thank you.
I had a few of them, and of course, just when you're out and about, like in DC market, you just end up giving them away to people,
Sure.
or you're meeting people and like, oh, I love the glass. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
If I drink all of this, I won't be able to drive home.
You'll be
So
fine.
don't
We'll
stop it.
Uber.
Yeah, Uber. Yeah.
Or just I'll drive and you'll sleep in my house.
No, I'm getting a lot of apple from this one.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
So this is our double oak.
I'm getting a ton of honey.
Once you keep on smelling it, I get a lot of ginger off mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And so this is double oaked?
This is double oaked, American and French barrels. So the French barrels are Neoc barrels, they're called. So they're ex red wine barrels that we actually reshave them and recharred them.
Okay.
And these come in. So this run we make between 3,000 and 4,000 bottles of this batch. So after we use them casks, we actually get another fresh set of casks in, and we reuse them. It varies. Whenever Paul is happy with the flavor, taste, that's when he cracks it.
This is good, man. This is fantastic.
This reminds me of if you removed peat from scotch, that's what this tastes like.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is so light.
It is. It's very light. You get a lot of vanilla from it. As well.
Yep.
And then we do a very unique thing. There's only one other distillery in the world that does it. It's called, the distillery is Old Elk, so give them a shout out. We do a thing called a gentle cut. So we add water to the whiskey over 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
We don't flush the water to dump it in to cut it. We drip feed it into it. Like this is a 43.6.
Oh,
So
okay.
we drip feed the whiskey, we drip feed water, gently cut the water into it. It's scientifically proven by people far smarter than me that it doesn't shock the whiskey.
Okay.
So if you flush a lot of water into it over quickly, you get a lot of that burn, you get a lot of that bad tanniny taste. This, by drip feeding the water into it, it gives the whiskey time to breathe, time to start opening up, and be good.
Is this a new study that came out or something?
It is. It's very, very new. I believe, I could be wrong, but we'll take credit for it anyway. We were, I believe we were the first to do this, and then I think Old Elk is the only other one in that we know of that does this.
Now, have you had this on the rocks?
No,
No.
It's a sin.
well, it's not.
I mean, to us.
Yeah, I don't think it needs it personally myself.
So that's my point, because I feel like if you had a slow melting large square ice cube and you put this over the top, it would kind of take away from what this actually is.
I believe myself, by adding the water as slow as what we do, not having that whiskey shot, because with other brands you need ice with it sometimes,
Sure,
or you need a water dropper, or you need something. I believe with this, it's so clean, and we use a very fine microfilter as well to catch a lot of the impurities, but it still gives in a lot of flavor. But that's been the real resounding thing when people have actually tried this, is how smooth it is and how easy it is to drink.
Sure.
It's like, this is our beginner stuff. What I would call it. I call this our entry level stuff. But in saying that, since I've come up here, this has been our best seller.
Sure.
I swear I will take this to the grave, but I feel like our proof point in Buffalo is 80 to 85.
Generally, yeah, absolutely.
Like anything over that, you're talking to somebody that actually understands bourbon or whiskey in general, and then they'll dive into something that's above 90.
Yeah, this is 86, 87.
Is it?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's around there.
Yeah.
You know, I think it fits that nice smooth palate.
Sure.
This is really good.
And I find a lot of people that are, new to Irish whiskey, and all they have is the bad experience of when they were in college ripping shots of Jameson, you know what I mean, off a shot ski.
Yeah.
They're like,
I definitely only did that in college.
Yeah.
I've never done that after college either.
I'm not saying I haven't done it myself, but there's that's when people hear about new barrels, new companies, new product, it's good to get people tasting, because we've been very surprised at the reaction.
Yeah.
I said it's just an easy drinker.
So you said you take away the char and then you re-char it. What is the thought process behind that?
Some of the French barrels you have to be careful with, because there can be chemicals, and there can be what's the word?
Tannin?
No, it's not sulfur.
Nailed it.
Cyanide.
Okay.
Some of the barrels can have cyanide in them, which you don't want in your whiskey.
You don't want it ever.
No. So yeah, we have to be careful in that. We test the barrels obviously when they do come from our suppliers, very carefully. So you work very cautious about it.
Sure.
And then re-charring them is good. Gets a bit more flavor in there as well. But there's so many different processes you can do with them barrels, and the barrels they breed, different temperature climates, different way they're kept, what way they're stored, the temperature in Ireland compared to the temperature if we get them from France, some from America.
Sure.
It just completely changes the flavor, how high they are in the Rickenhouse, how low they are.
So now you mentioned you're testing the barrels. Do you know what that test involves?
I don't personally. What the guys do at home, I know there's definitely some chemical tests involved, and
Gotcha.
when they shave it, make sure there's no splits in the wood, make sure everything is nice and clean, before we char and reseal everything. I know there'll be distinct smells, flavors. If you saw any mold or anything like that, you wouldn't want them.
Sure.
Because we're traveling, we're getting the barrels over in containers. There's always room for error. That's why we get enough of them. We don't order two, and then you get them. They're both bad. So yeah, the guys are enough, and we've fantastic relationships with our suppliers. That they get us some of the best stuff.
Sure.
So
this one in front of, just because I'm staring at it, it says a Bordeaux cask finish. Is that? Are you only using Bordeaux barrels for this one?
So their first fill American oak barrels, and then their second fill is a Bordeaux barrel. It's from the south of France. It's from a very, very well respected winery, which unfortunately I can't name for legal reasons.
No worries.
Thank you.
But this is all limited run stuff. So I believe this is batch 5. No, this is batch 6.
Okay.
So out of this, we made 1,500 bottles.
1,500 total bottles.
1,500 total bottles, yeah. 1,500 total bottles. Went through the exact same process as all the other whiskies go through. Goes through the gentle cut, goes through the fine micron filter. Bottled in Ireland, hand labeled in Ireland, packaged, everything.
And what's the proof point on this?
Proof point is 43.6 as well.
Okay.
So we all fall around the 43.6. We have some stuff that I have on the table that's up to the 46 range. that we made specially, but we tried keeping it happy medium. I said we do have numerous collaborations coming up as well, that I believe some of it will be
Hotter.
it's going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, even
Going to be gas.
even that like 43.6 range, it's still good enough for people that are just getting into it and don't want that burn, but also people like us who our proof point is 105 that we can still enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly. It's meant to be enjoyed, you know, and not like you don't want to have heartburn after a drink. It's meant to be enjoyed, meant to be sipped. That just sitting around having a conversation with friends, family. You know, just a nice, easy sipper, and be able to talk about it and what different flavor notes, what different tastes you guys get from it.
Yeah, with shepherd's pie.
I haven't had one of them in ages. I haven't had a good one in ages. They're hard to make in a microwave in a hotel.
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding.
So with the bourbon barrels, where are you getting them from?
They're mainly sourced from Jack Daniels.
Okay.
At the moment, or Jim Beam and Jack Daniels.
Gotcha.
We're always looking, as I said, we're always looking for other distilleries that have barrels that would like to do a swap with us or would like to do an exchange. There's a lot going on this one.
This is really sweet.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot of wood sugars in this.
Yeah, you get a lot of red berry.
Yeah.
And before we get too far away from the single batch one, how much is this one?
This on the shelf at Addie's is $44.99.
Wow.
So
And then this new green one?
this new green one is at $47.99 as well, I believe. So $44.99, $47.99. There's nothing. There's one here on the table which we'll get to, which is $54.99. But there's a reason for that. But all of them are going to fall in between $44.99 and about $47.99.
Which is, again, a sweet spot.
Yeah. Just
No doubt.
as Mike, you said, just it falls under that $50 mark. That's where we want to keep it. You know, what are you guys getting off this?
Dude, I could drink this one for the rest of the day. This one's very good to me.
Do you want to just stop here then?
All right, turn everything off. We're done.
Knock off the cameras. Have a lock in here.
Oh, my God.
No, I do get the berries, but the wood sugars for me is very, very upfront, and I'm trying to take it slow, which for me it's difficult because I just want to keep drinking the juice.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out what else I'm getting on the ending note because it dissipates semi quick, which is why I want to keep drinking it, but it doesn't. It's a high hug. I mean,
Yeah.
it really doesn't sit low at all.
No, I agree with you. A lot of people, especially Anne in DC, she gets a lot of strawberry from it.
Okay.
She gets a lot of strawberry. She gets a little bit of honey. On the back end, you get that kind of black pepper crack finish from the light char that we give the barrels.
Yeah, but that stops.
Yeah.
And that's like the ending of the initial taste for me is that extra char.
Yeah, and then you're getting a lot of honey, too, for me.
Yeah.
This one's full of honey.
This makes it like drinking on its own is great, but all these are so cocktail friendly too.
That's a big. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a huge list, but what would you make with this?
I'm torn between this. I could make a Manhattan out of this.
Okay.
I really like a good Manhattan with this. Some of the other ones, like I'm a old fashioned guy with a couple of the next ones I'm going to taste. Love a good old fashioned, but if I was having a cocktail with this one, love a Manhattan with it.
Sure.
Just nice, easy, crisp. You know, you don't need to do too much messing with it. It just drinks really well. There's a lovely burgundy color off it too. Lovely kind of pinkish hue.
Sure.
Just some, and that really goes down to the quality of the barrels that we source.
Yeah, no kidding.
These barrels come from a very, very well known vineyard in France, and the quality of the barrel, the quality of the wood, and the quality of the wine that was in before them really, really carries this.
Now, is your rick house indoor or outdoor?
It's an indoor. It's right on. It's 600 yards from the ocean.
Wow.
So we might have to move it if like erosion keeps on going there.
Right.
Could be an expensive week. You could literally throw a rock and you hit the ocean. So
Jeez,
yeah,
okay.
you get that Atlantic spray. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, down in Ireland or down to the coast.
Spiritually, I've been there.
Okay, well, yeah, if you see the waves from the videos and stuff like that, they hit hard, and that's where you get a lot of the spray into the thing. And then the weather there said is normally relatively good. We get a good couple of weeks every year. You know, it normally stays pretty pretty tame. But just the Atlantic coast, the breeze, the water, everything like down there.
How high is the rick house from the water level?
Up. Oh, it's probably
Was it 700 feet?
Yeah, I'd reckon. Yeah, maybe it could be a bit more. I haven't thrown a measuring tape over, but it's probably
Sure.
it's probably up there. Yeah.
Could you imagine doing that and you put the wrong end down the tape measure?
God damn.
They have no one's downloaded to tell me how far it is.
I'll get a rope and a rock. 1, 2. I know. Who would probably know is the boys that go down and pick up the rocks on fire.
Sure.
I bet you they know how high that cliff is.
So
Probably.
that's where they get it from, is right outside.
Right outside. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I bet you they can tell you exactly how high that thing is.
I don't know if I could do that job. That's a little scary.
No, there wouldn't be enough rope to hold me on. I would be gone.
So what I like about these two products already is that I associate it with like a spring summer whiskey. Like they're not heavy. They're very refreshing.
They're light. They're easy to drink. Like there's no heavy smoke, heavy peat off it.
Right.
See, this is for me.
This is definitely.
We don't make much peated stuff back at home. Like you don't want to be sucking on a burnt down house.
Right.
Like it's just like it's too no offense to people who drinks peaty. I just don't.
Yeah.
There is some fantastic ones out there, but
We literally just had that conversation this week.
I just can't.
See, he understands.
I don't get me wrong. I will have one. Like if there's one coming to me, I'm not going to say no to it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll drink it.
Yeah.
But like some of that stuff that's out there is like. Whew.
Yeah. See, I'm the big Pete guy in this.
Oh, really?
He's not. Yeah.
Okay.
No, because he's like, you got to try this, and I drank it, and I'm like, I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally eating Mother Earth. Like I don't want to do that.
So what is the mash bill for all these? Do they vary, or is it just the finishing?
No,
process?
just the finishing process is all. Finishing process is all different. Sorry, the barrels are all different.
Right.
And then how long we age them for. What part of the Rickenhouse Paul puts them into. Then with the weather, temperature, climate,
Absolutely.
and then that's why the batches are so unique with the barrels, because every barrel tastes so much different. Every batch tastes so much different than the first one. Like it's crazy that how different they taste, and that's why we like doing it, because some people are like, I think this is number 5 or number 6. You might drink a number 10 and you'd be like,
Sure.
it tastes way different. Why is that? Why is the wood after because timber is weird.
Yeah.
Timber opens, expands, and then how much of the char is left in the barrel, how much of the actual wine penetrated, how porous the wood was before it was even filled with wine or filled with bourbon.
Sure.
So it's unique. This is the one that we sell the most of here stateside. So this is our port cask.
Ooh.
So this is cask strength port cask. Sorry, and then we
Perfect. Thank you.
This is the one I say we made it to compete with the bourbon market.
Okay.
But
And so it's barrel strength, you said?
yeah,
It won silver medal in 2018. The proof is
43.6 on this as well.
okay.
43.6. So this is one that we're very excited, happy with. It's so good that we are out of stock of it for another 2 weeks. It's currently somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean on a boat.
That's just awesome right there.
Yeah, it's currently coming whatever way this way. So this is really this is one of my favorites. This makes a real good. I love this in a cocktail, old fashioned, even straight up on its own.
Okay.
The feedback from the general public here, this is the one that they really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
And it's sold at, is it at Eddie's?
Sold at Addy's as well, yeah.
How much?
54. This one is slightly more expensive.
So this is the one.
This is the one, 50s. Yeah. This is the one that's $54, slightly more expensive.
I'm getting more of that fruit. Again, it's just all this stuff is perfect for springtime.
Yeah, but this is the other two were very soft. This is kind of like a cream. It's like creamy.
Yeah. A lot of these, especially they really coat your tongue, because you're not fighting with the harshness from any of the tannin or for anything like that. Like this is all just the natural set, natural wood flavorings.
I'm getting wood, sugars, honey, and vanilla too.
Like right when it touches your tongue, that's when it starts zinging a little bit.
Yeah.
But as soon as that's over, you get nothing else the rest, and it's just a beautiful
And
taste.
then I get a small bit of warmth at the back end of it, just here.
Me too.
Just right there, and then it just disappears into nothing. But like I said this will be one of the ones that we sell the absolute most of.
Sure.
Like they all sell fantastically well, but this is the one that I said, as I think we made it to compete in like the American bourbon, or to give that American bourbon feel to it. Which I know it's not. But people seem to, because a lot of people don't like that harsh bourbon, that 105 proof, or you know what I mean, that like the Bookers or the Little Book. Or,
they're also betas, so
yeah. Like you don't get punched in the back of the head, but I like this. I think this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's very creamy. It's very thick, and it just goes over the back of your tongue so smooth.
Yeah. So adding that water over that period of 2 weeks is just it's genius. It just really makes it smooth, nice and easy.
Yeah.
And the filter and the process, quality of the barrels as well, and the way the stuff is taken care of really makes a big difference. We're using all natural cork as well. I think that keeps seals a lot of flavor. A lot of people are going down this plastic route. I think that can change it a lot. I think the cork, like dry cork, has a lot of value.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, so we rate everything we have on our show, and one of our biggest critiques is if it's an actual cork or not.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want to. It's glass. We understand why people use it, but there's also nothing like having a good cork.
Yeah, no, like these bottles are like they're built to last. Empty, you can use them as a home defense mechanism.
Yeah,
a lot
water if you're being polite.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of some bars actually in DC that have started using them as like to hold flowers. Some I've sold this into some bars as well that actually use it to like for olive oil. I've one or two bars use it for vinegar for fish and chips.
Sure.
Just stick a speed pour on the top.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So now also too, what we should point out is, because everybody knows that I'm a fan of boxes and when they come in this stuff. So
yes,
all of your whiskeys come in this as well,
all
right?
our whiskeys come in this. The gin currently doesn't, but all of the whiskeys do come boxed. And they all have the numbers on the outside, the batch numbers, how many bottles were made of that, a bit of the story about the distillery on the back, and people seem to really enjoy them.
That's the experience.
Yeah.
awesome.
Having the ability and time to open something and then pulling the bottle out, it just adds such a dynamic to the product.
The boxes add a lot of quality. What a lot of stores do is they take off the first bottle so people can see the bottles, and then when they leave here they get the packaging afterwards, just so they can see and feel everything. But like with the packaging, the weight of the glass, the liquid, and all, you're getting value for money. You're getting quality,
no doubt.
If you're $50 is going a long way. We find a lot of these great gifts for people. Sure. Like, because you walk into somebody's house with a nice box like this, you're like, oh yeah, you spent some money in this.
But like, you guys managed to do that without raising the price point.
Yeah. That's something we've always tried to control. Like, you have to determine the market. Like, we prefer to see it on the shelf selling than sitting there catching dust.
Sure.
Like, we wanted to be out there. We want people.
The box doesn't look pretty with dust on it.
Yeah, no, they don't. we wanted to be out there as people to drink it, enjoy it. That's what it's meant to be for. Like,
exactly.
If we just wanted to keep it, we just keep it in Ireland and look at it.
Right.
Just get it out, get it to people, and see what they like. Because we also do like some custom stuff as well online. So if you want to make like a bottle for your boyfriend, girlfriend, your dad, your mother, your sister, your workmate, you can get custom labels made up that will come at the bottom with the person's name, the whole lot on them, delivered. So you can make a lot of cool changes to it. Like, we're very open that way. We're very like looking to like change the mold, I suppose, from like having your regular standard. You have to have this label. No, we like to be able to change things around.
That's I think the first company and distillery to do that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, you can do a lot of cool stuff with us. Like, I said, innovation is a big thing for us. Innovation, the people we work around, family, friends, and listen to what customers want.
Yeah.
A lot of places do, obviously, they do the engraving and stuff like that, but you can get bottles delivered, throughout America to your front door with your name on it if you want it. Which a lot of people seem to jump into. And then, speaking of names on bottles, our next one is Old Glory. So, good friends of ours in Washington, D.C. They're a professional rugby team. They play in the Major League Rugby in America. Won last week, thankfully. Beat the New England Free Jackets It was a good game. So
Cool. Thank you.
I reached out to these guys probably September, October time last year. And just picked up the phone. I've played rugby for 24 years, so it's a massive passion of mine. I'm not saying I was good at it. I played it.
I was on the field. I was there.
Yeah. I played it. But so we reached out to these guys, and whiskey and rugby has always been the thing. It's just like it's old as time.
Yep, drinking out of the boot.
Yeah, exactly. So we reached out to them guys, and I got talking to Brian, who's the chief commercial officer for them. He was very interested. He's like, oh, kind of unique, kind of interesting prospect. So let's sit down, let's have a meeting. So we sat down, we had a meeting, and over a few cocktails, and we just said, like, why not? Let's go for it. So let's make these guys a whiskey. So we had some rum barrels from Martinez in France at home, and we said, like, let's pick that one. So Paul decided to go with it and bottled it up. It was just delivered here about a month ago. So we made 1,370 bottles of this red one. I asked permission, could we sell it up here in Buffalo? I didn't think it would sell because it says Old Glory DC on the bottom of it, but people love it.
Yeah.
They love the Old Glory name, they love the logo. And then the reason it's called the captain's bottle is because after every game, the captain of Old Glory, Mungo Mason, he presents the bottle to the best player on the opposition team.
Oh, sweet.
So
That's classy.
Yeah, really cool. So it's actually the best player is voted for by the players of Old Glory. It's not voted for the staff. It's voted by the guys on the field who they thought the best player they played against that day is. And we've done 6 of them so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why it's called the captain's bottle. 1,370 bottles. It's going down great. People love it. I like this. This is 46%. So getting up there. But the rum finish on this, I think, is beautiful.
It's a what finish?
Rum finish, rum barrels.
Yeah. You can get some of that again on the nose.
Yeah.
But also I'm getting like more green apple again, and then also more of that barley.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
This has a really nice nose.
Now this makes, I'm not going to go back to old fashions again. This makes a banging old fashioned because you get that sweetness. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's got the grain element to it that's so unique from the others.
Yeah, it warms you too. But if you get the initial heat, but it finishes super smooth.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a full body.
Yeah,
This is good.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of positive feedback about this. We also too, for any of our listeners that want, if they like to gamble, we do make another version of this that we sell online on the Old Glory website and on the Clonakilty website. So it's one of 1,269 bottles we made for the team. They come in a beautiful case, and there's a draw at the end of the season, and it's open to anybody who wants to do it. Open to anyone in America, anyone all over the world. You can buy. You can be anywhere you want, and the bottle 1,269 numbers we put into a draw. One number will be picked out. That winner gets an all expenses paid trip for 2 people, 5 days, 4 nights to Ireland.
Really?
Yes.
All right, well, the wives aren't coming, so yeah, it's just you and I. It's like, we'll see you later. We're going to
I'm
Ireland.
okay with that.
So you actually have less of a chance than that because there's certain people excluded from the draw. Owners, management, players, me. Anybody tries to fix it. So it's a very unique opportunity. The bottles are slightly more expensive, but the whiskey is not. The whiskey is not this. The whiskey that's in the other stuff has age statements on it. It's fantastic. It is. It's $189 with shipping included, but it's a great gift. And I said, if you like to roll the dice, you've a probably 1 in 1,000 chance to get an all expenses paid trip to Ireland. And that is guaranteed for life.
Who came up with that?
You're looking at him.
You came
Really?
up with that idea?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Thank you. Goodness, that's an awesome idea, man.
Yeah, you're looking at him. But I
See,
said,
look at that. You won something.
yeah,
you can take credit for something.
Yeah. I didn't win the tickets yet. Fuck. But I said I can't take credit. I can only take credit for picking up the phone and making the ideas and making the introductions. Without the team that we have down there, Porrig and especially, you know, Anne has been fantastic. She's done all the finer details since I've been up here. Like, she's all the field signs ready. She's at every game, selling the bottles, talking to people, promoting the product. You know, Anne's a rock star. So
this is awesome.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. We were really happy with the way it came out. So are Old Glory, so much so that we've linked up with them again for next couple of seasons.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So you locked him in?
Yeah, locked them in. And then the team that they actually beat at the weekend, the New England Free Jackets, they actually reached out to us as well. They like their own whiskey.
Oh, sweet.
So,
Look at that.
Yeah, we might be getting into making whiskey for professional rugby players. Yeah, so
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have?
Just picking up a phone, like you said.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Pick up a phone, make a phone call. The worst somebody can say to you is no.
Correct.
And then you just call them back.
That's right.
Every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
You call him back 9 more times. Yes.
Send them postcards, send them emails, do whatever you can. But yeah, no, these guys have been just awesome. You know, they're just a great company, great team to deal with. Just fantastic. You know, Paul Sheehy, the owner, Chris Dunleavy, Brian Hope, who's their social media person, and they've just been awesome. And then they have a home bar as well. If you're ever in Virginia, it's called Matty and Edie's. You know, that's where the guys all hang out, drink, and have a good time after games. They play in Segra Field, which is the DC United training facility. But they travel all over. A lot of Irish guys, some Irish guys on it. A lot of international talent on it. It's serious. They play on Fox Sports most Saturdays and Sundays.
Nice.
So you can grab a bottle of this and watch them win or lose.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully win.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's the first collab you did.
This is the first collab I've done.
Okay.
This one was done before this was done for me. So this is from actually Rhode Island, from Reveille Brewery Company. It's their IPA, their Thirsty IPA, that we got off them. So yeah, so this was a first fill. Would they put their IPA into a bourbon barrel?
What am I smelling?
This is good. I like this.
See, I'm smelling peaches right now, but that might be from the last one.
There's a lot.
No. You're dead on with that.
Yeah. I really like it. You get a lot. I get a lot of lemon off this.
Okay.
Get a lot of citrus. Get a lot of like lemongrass. You get a bit of.
I can see that.
This is crazy.
You get a bit of the hop as well.
Sure.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Citrus hops.
Yeah.
Citrus hops.
I'm gonna smell it myself again.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. But
Research.
Yeah, research and development. Yeah, smells like it did 2 hours ago.
My man.
Smells exactly the same.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, that's the very hoppy smell to it.
That's not fair.
Super mild.
Super mild. What's the ABV on this?
43.6 as well, I think, is it? Or is it 44?
Yeah. You
43.6,
thirsty?
yeah.
IPA.
Yeah, so that's the name of the whiskey, or the name of their beer. They put into bourbon barrels, and we got the barrels once they were finished with them, shipped them over to Ireland, put our whiskey into it, and that's what came back. One of 1,600 bottles, as I said, all available online. Great guys to work with, just trying to support. Like, it's all small business. We're a small business too. Then guys are a small business. Just fantastic people to work with.
Absolutely.
And then having the Rhode Island connection to New York. People. Like I said, it's just another story.
Sure.
People like the story behind it, and they've just been really, really good guys.
This is incredible.
Yeah, super good. Goes great with an IPA. Also, too, I do like it with a good ginger beer.
Would you do them together?
Yeah, like a Fever Tree tonic, but their ginger beer version instead, because you get that super spice from it. That I love the lemon that comes behind it.
This tastes like a sour mash whiskey that you would find here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nice. I said the color is just all from the barrel, nice and light, nice and crisp.
Very. Very light.
But there's a lot going on in the nose on this.
Oh yeah.
Like there is.
I mean, that's like 70% of the experience for me is the nose.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the nose, and that's why people have to taste this stuff. We there's no point. You can't do shots of this.
Right.
Well, you can.
As he just downs it.
Yeah,
It was a little.
leaks the inside of the glass. Yeah, right.
It was a little shot. Leave me, I mean, come on.
It's five, it's
you know-
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, you know where my family's from.
You got to get pleasantly toasted before the draft tonight to kind of keep up with it. Well, yeah, no, said just we're always looking to collab with people. Like we really are looking to just like get some barrels, get some new stuff, new products out there, and just try new things with everybody.
Right. So
Drink responsibly, friends.
this next one is triple distilled.
Yes. So this one was made for friends of ours down below in Florida called Primo Liquors.
Okay.
It's a very early collaboration that Porrig, the owner, started. So bourbon barrels and then Armagnac casks.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is a very, very limited run. This is only 775 bottles. We just got some of this up to just sample it. I brought it tonight. It's not for sale. Obviously, up here it's dedicated to these guys.
Sure.
But I just wanted to give you guys a look to see the different range of barrels that we can get and that we can get for people, you know, and try different new stuff with.
So was that a conscious pick by them that they wanted this?
That was a conscious pick by them. So we sourced the barrels for them, the Armagnac barrels, and Paul got it all ready, got it bottled, and shipped it over. So it's I let you guys decide on this one.
So clearly you like doing single barrels and stuff with
Yeah,
people. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep that in mind.
yeah. We are going to start looking at doing some other stuff, some single malt stuff.
Oh, okay.
We have one in the pipeline. I don't know, can I say much about it, but I'll tell you anyway.
You can always take it out if you figure out you can.
No,
Okay.
it's fine.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's grand. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. So we're actually making for the cigar smokers.
Ooh.
So it'll be a single malt, which will be very, very unique. So we're always messing around and experimenting with stuff and trying to find new avenues and new ideas and new barrels and new things to do. Really, you know, there's always room for growth. And then especially when we make such limited run stuff like individually barreled, you know, we have the chance to turn it around again.
This is really good. It takes away some of the floral stuff and the fruit stuff that I was tasting with the other ones. You get this one to me is pretty traditional for like a more in line with American bourbon, I feel.
Yeah, I like this. I like the sweetness of this. I like the bit of like I get a bit of cognac off it, you know, from the Armagnac. Because we did make a cognac finish one as well that we actually launched in America and sold out. And
Really?
yeah, well, I didn't sell it and sold it and sold it all to one place. So,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I told you she's a beast. So no, she kills it for us. But it's sold really, really well. But we always go to because we do a lot of private barrel stuff too. So if you have a place that you want to do collaboration with, like we're down. Like if you have a brewery here in Buffalo, you have a brewery in Syracuse, or you have a brewery back in your hometown, wherever it is, and you want to do something with them, or you know a company that wants to do something, just call us.
Sure.
We'll take the barrels, we'll get them to you, put all your labels and logos on them. It's a lot of fun, you know.
It seems like here at Clonakilty, you're just doing this for fun. Like you guys are having a blast doing it, and you're not trying to kill the market just to make a profit.
No, for sure. It's still, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. So it's still a business for all them at home. You know, everything has to be paid for, but we try to enjoy it as much as we can and enjoy the people that we meet, and you know, like raise a glass to like all different like walks of life. We enjoy having a fun aspect in it.
True.
Like you can't take this job too seriously. You know, there is times for seriousness and there's times to have fun. But yeah, just the different impressions, and like it gets people's mind thinking outside the box of Irish whiskey, where they're like the Jamesons or Redbreasts or the West Corks or whatever. You know, it's something new, something different to the market. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but it's something to try. You know, $50 get you in the door, and you can see how you like it. You can throw your hand at it.
It has a very friendly nose and taste to a lot of these products.
Yeah.
Because people associate bourbon and whiskey with this harsh corn wood that is like will put hair on your chest, you know. But a lot of this stuff is super light, friendly, and fruity, which is not typical to what people would initially think.
No, they don't, and that's why you get a lot of surprise and a lot of like the kind of oh wow, the shock factor from people when they tried, like, oh Jesus, this is actually really good. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, how come I've never heard of this before?
Right.
How come I've never had it? You know, and I said with the tastings we've had here at Addy's, like we've had a lot of success. You know, just said something new to the market, and then we've all our collaborations that we have coming up in the pipeline. You know, we've got Garrison Brothers in Texas, we've got Katonkin Creek in Virginia. I also have another bit of news for anybody in Buffalo. We are partnering up with FC Buffalo.
Oh, cool.
So making whiskey for Nick and his team. So that'll be a lot of fun. Met with him 2 days ago now. Just random conversation, just ended up how it always starts. Met somebody at the bar, got talking. Next thing, 2 hours later, my phone was going, "Hi, let's meet up."
Sure.
So yeah, we're in talks with doing a whiskey for them guys. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You know, and I said for anybody that's listening, Buffalo, no matter where it is, if you guys do want to collab, or even if you don't want to collab with us, even if you want some of our barrels, we have barrels available.
Okay.
That we'd love to be able to give people. You know, we'd like to see them out there, and you know, if there's some future stuff to be done, great. But we do have a lot of barrels that are sitting around that we'd love to be able to throw over, and people can use them and experiment with them and see how they go.
Absolutely.
I'm obsessed with this whole brand.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing about it is just refreshing.
Yeah, it's
From like not only just the products being refreshing, the label being refreshing, but just the whole approach to the industry is refreshing.
Yeah, I suppose it's not your typical kind of approach. Well, I suppose, look, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm only speaking for myself. I do try to enjoy it and have fun with people and make it lighthearted. You know, but we try to be as innovative as we can. And, you know, as I said to you before the cameras went on, like, all I do is I pick up the phone, I think of something crazy somewhere, I'm after passing something or passing somebody, and I see something like, no, let me give them a call. And then some people are interested, some people are not.
Sure.
You know, and then we've made some great relationships by just doing that, you know, and then we're very visible in the market too. Like we're always out, you know, we're like Porrig being one of the owners, he's out every day selling, out every day meeting people. All the sales reps in America are out, and I know I can't speak for the guys in Ireland, but I know they're out too. But anyone here is always out, just trying to open new markets, test the waters, see what's going on. And like we're very fortunate to work for Michael and Porrig, because like they let us like experiment, you know, and like there's no such thing as a stupid idea. Like you can go back to them with some idea, and like they'll either say yay or nay. Or if it's not 9 times out of 10 it's yes, unless it's something completely off the wall. Like because when I went back with the Old Glory to them, like they were like yeah let's look into it. And then when we really looked into it, it was like yeah, of course, no brainer, let's do it. So we're very fortunate that way. It makes our lives very easy sell, you know, and we're a very approachable company. You know, we try to be on social media as much as we can, and then obviously we do a lot of charity stuff. Like some of our collaborations, like we try to pick local charities that we work with to donate, give back to the local community.
That's good.
You know, it's the community make you or break you, and like we like to be able to partner up with people and just make it a fun event where we can also give back to like the local community and like build a reputation and a brand for ourselves here, because like America's afforded us a great opportunity as Irish people, as immigrants, to come here and forge a life for ourselves. And I'm very grateful for it. It's given me a better life for my family. So we have to do our bit too to thank people as well, you know.
Sure, absolutely. So for people that want to follow this brand, where are you guys online? What's your social media presence like?
Social media presence is pretty good. I don't run the social media, thankfully. But yeah, so Clonakilty Distilleries on Instagram, Clonakilty Distillery USA on Instagram as well. So we have 2 different accounts. We have an Irish and American one. And then a website as well, clonakiltydistilleries.ie.
And then you have a YouTube channel too, right?
YouTube channel as well as Clonakilty Distilleries as well on YouTube.
And they can hear all about the story of how you get started and all that.
Yeah, the videos are getting better up there. You know, we're uploading a lot more stuff. We're trying to get out, trying to get out to meet people and get new videos and new links set up. But there's going to be a lot more stuff happening on the American side of things as well that we're really going to start documenting. We've been asked to do a lot of these podcasts, these online, which are great. Like, they're a lot of fun. You might need to put subtitles on this thing for me, but
No, you're fine.
yeah, I always feel like I need somebody in the back, like doing sign language or like writing on a whiteboard or a voiceover going, this is what he said. If you can follow us online, we're pretty easy finding, and just reach out online. We've always people that monitor the online stuff for us, and if anything pops up, it's easy to reach out. We're not going to be a million miles away.
Cool.
I love it.
Well, man, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us today. This has been an insane experience. We have to take a picture of everything on this table right now,
Yeah.
or else people aren't going to believe us.
No doubt.
But thank you for letting us try all this stuff. Everything's fantastic, even down to the gin.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I said greatly appreciate the opportunity. When I was reached out, I just jumped at it. It's actually my first podcast.
Oh, there you go. What'd you think?
Look at that.
Yeah. That's my
Fun?
first podcast. Yeah, last time I've been on camera a few times, normally for speeding tickets, but great time, a lot of fun. I definitely something I do again.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's been very easy. Like, for communication with you guys has been fantastic, and yeah, it's my first one, and has done 2 or 3. I know Porrig has done a few. Been a great experience. I definitely, once things start to develop more, I think in upstate New York, definitely love to do another one with you guys.
Absolutely.
Again. And as I said about the custom bottles, there'll be 2 in the mail to you guys, so you can
Thank you.
have one for the house.
Appreciate
Stop.
Have one
Thank
for
you.
the
Thank you
house.
so
I'll
much.
get them sent to you.
Well, thank you so much for your time, everybody.
you,
Check
guys.
them out, Clonakilty US and Clonakilty on Instagram. They got some crazy stuff coming. So thank you very much. We really appreciate your
Cheers.
time.
Nice one, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.